Guys, welcome to our second Scratch tutorial from our intermediate workbook. Today we'll be looking at task 2. It's to do with sprites and how we can move sprites or images. Remember, sprite is another word for the images that we use within our Scratch projects. Today we're going to look at moving this sprite around the stage area, from left to right, right to left, up and down, and so on. So we're going to look at some basic code that allows us to do that. Now, to start with, what we need is an event. So we're going to use the arrow keys in order to move this sprite. So I'm going to select this block of code, which is when space is key pressed, and that's in the event script. Now, what it does, it allows me to select any sort of key. So an up arrow, down arrow, right arrow. So in this case, I'm going to select the right arrow. And we want to move our sprite. So I'm going to go to the motion block, and our sprite is situated on a axis, x-axis and y-axis. So we're going to move this along the x-axis, so move it from right to left. So we're going to go to the motion script, and we are going to change x by 10. So we're going to select that with the right arrow. So when I press the right key, we will move along the x-axis in increments of 10. If I press the left key, nothing happens at the moment. Now, in order to bring that left arrow key into operation and move that sprite in the left direction or back along the x-axis, it's very, very simple. One of the methods is I can duplicate this code and change the arrow by dragging them in. Or secondly, a small tip is if I right click on the existing code and duplicate, I can create an exact duplicate of that code. Now, what this allows me to do is select the down arrow here within the event and select left arrow. Now, if I press the left arrow at this time, which I'll do, it still moves to the right. Okay, so I want to change this figure in here to -10. So I'm taking 10 away again. You notice when I press the right, this figure increases. Okay, now when I press the left arrow key, you'll see it decreasing in increments of 10, just here. Okay, and that's the measurements of our x-axis as we go. Okay, moving to the right again and right in the centre. Okay, so moving right and left, but notice when we go in opposite directions, the sprite at this time does not turn. Okay, so we may want that to turn and point in a different direction. All right, what you can see here is the direction is 90 degrees at this point. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to add this point in direction block to both scripts. Okay, so our right script 90, notice it still doesn't make a difference at this moment in time. Okay, but if we change this to minus again 90, so again this, you can actually set this wee clock, set it to -90 to go the opposite direction. Oh, you can see it does turn and point in the opposite direction, but it then goes upside down. So again, there's a method to prevent this from happening. So that method is to add in a further block, and that's the rotation style when we rotate it. Okay, so we want to add this block in. Okay, so our rotation style. So now we should rotate from left to right, and the sprite should turn without going upside down. Okay, and that's exactly what we want to do. Okay, so I'm just going to rearrange these tiles at the moment. I'm just going to put that at the top, point in the direction, and then change the X. So I'll do that with these also. Okay. Amazing. Okay, so that's left to right all sorted. What we want to do now is we want to be able to move up and down. So again, I'm just going to move these scripts over and just keep them nice and tidy. But again, I'm going to pull over my event and I'm going to select my up arrow to start with. Okay. When we're pointing up the way, we are going to look at our motion scripts and we want to point in a direction of 0. Okay, so again we can move this wee clock and you can see that can go to 0, and we want to change our y value by 10 again. So if I press the up arrow, you can see it moves up. Okay, it won't move down at the moment, but it moves up the way, still facing in the correct direction, okay, or the right direction. Let's say, firstly, we implement our down arrow. Okay, we put that in, and our down arrow. And again, we're going to change y by -10 because we want to come down, and we are going to point in a direction of 180 degrees straight down. Okay, so when I press down, there we go. Apologies about that. There we go. Dead easy, up and down. But again, the cat does not turn. It continues to face the right hand side. Let's say when we press the up arrow, we want the cat to be facing up the way, or when we press the down arrow, the cat to be facing down. Okay, so again, we are going to be looking at that same block, this rotation style block. But what we can do is we can change that to either don't rotate at all or all around, which is what we are going to do in this case. So if we select that and place it into our code, just at the top here, to keep them kind of ordered the same. That's always good practice. And then when I press the up arrow, you can see that my cat now faces up the way, or down, it faces down the way. Right, turns right, left, turns left. There we have it. So that's how we get our sprite to move around the screen and obviously face in different directions also. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you found it helpful to complete your task. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and see you next time.